faces in the crowd, but I think that I see you. One too many days got me changing up the way that I need you. Now we're both at a bar, acting like it's not hard, trying to feel something different. Talk to somebody new, kinda wish it was you, kinda numb to the feeling. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months and I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Not that you're gone. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Laying on my floor, thinking about all the things that we've been through. From 24/7 to pretending like I never met you. No, it's all for the best, cause I know we're a mess every time we're together. Going out of my mind, and I wish I could lie, tell you that it gets better. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months where I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to move on. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. I can't seem to. Now that you're gone, they say time should heal, but it's been too long. Couple months.
Hello there, everybody, and welcome into today's RLCS 2v2 NA 2026. The team stream for today is team R, comprised of course, Cheese and Talk. I'm your host and caster, Ground Zero. Joining me in the booth is, of course, my good friend Sir PUKIS. How you been keeping?
I felt excellent. The introduction of a 2v2 playlist into RLCS has been such a wonderful addition until the entire show. It's given more opportunities for certain players to definitely step up. They used to have that reputation of a bit more ranked grinders. Now they can sit at the very top of an RLCS official sanctioned playlist. But as for these two players, Cheese and Talk, they were already at the top of the RLCS ladder in 3v3, and they're already off to a fantastic start over here in 2s.
Yes, sir. Looking at their Swiss stage run as well, they have went beyond leaps and bounds here to be one of the top rated teams and qualified quite easily past this Swiss stage. While we're looking at it, look at those stats there, Sir Pegasus.
Yeah, the only real matchup that they slightly struggled in, if you even want to call it that, was against the likes of Justin and Garrett G. Of course, longtime teammate Justin being on that opposing side. He's one of the top talents in the world with 2v2. But Garrett, he's been working on his 2s. It was a tough game. It was actually a reverse sweep for R to pick up that victory to get themselves into that 2-0 bracket. But 6-0 outside of that, it's as confident as you would expect, outplacing the likes of Dignitas and matching the qualification bracket of Space Station, who have already qualified into that top 6 with the conclusion of Group A.
Yeah, looking at that conclusion, we do see Space Station already topping it. Also, at the same time, we should be talking about not really good. They're doing very, very well for teams that's, branded the opposite of it. But fantastic stuff done from NRG. But team silenced alongside in the lower semifinals, only to lose out to the Kinyos in the lower finals as well. Yo Chapros and Dignitas, one of the most surprising results that they've lost out to Team Sup in the lower finals as well, just missing shy of qualification.
But Expert and Matter, certainly no slouches, and like I said before, some players just step up a lot more in this 2v2 playlist. This is a Worlds qualifier, with it being one of the top 4 regions in the world at the moment, so that adds that extra bit of importance to every single game that is played. But over here in Group B, this is where our focus lies. On top of that bracket, you can see Fuera taking on Genji Mobile 1. You've got LC versus Virtus Pro. And then our section of the bracket, R versus Juice and Monk. But I'm really looking at that upper finals because there is a potential NRG matchup for qualification in top 6.
That would make it a very, very interesting game. I would say that probably the most toughest one we'll ever see as well in the upper finals, just for qualification. But let's not forget about the teams that we're casting. Well, of course, everybody knows the very team that we're casting right now. That is R versus Juice and Monk. And I've always credited as Cheese as one of the top greatest players. When it comes down to it, this man is very difficult to match up as a second man position. But we got an equally aggressive teammate to support that. That's Talk taking on Juice and Monk. And the first thing we always ask ourselves here, what do we predict ourselves in the chat today? There's our pig.
Well, Juice and Monk, they're very tough opponents. Of course, they've got that history of the likes of Kraken Seas. If you're looking at the likes of Juice, they're always going to give you a series in 3v3, and that extends to be true over here in 2v2 as well. There's no doubt about it. When we're looking at this first series, Cheese and Talk are the clear favourites. You'd probably be harsh to go against the sweep, honestly, for the likes of Cheese and Talk here, but you still have to hit the ground running. This is still one of the best regions in the world. Everyone who has qualified for this top 16 spot is certainly no slouches, and if you look at some of those players that got eliminated in the 17 to 32 stage, that really helps set up how strong everyone is that is competing.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game, but we're looking at this at a very different angle. Like, Juice has been known to be very, very good, but I think where they're going to be slouching is the aggressiveness that we're going to see, but also the defensive factor. That midfield is going to see so much clashes between these two that for a name like Monk, I think he's going to find himself out of the Zen state here for today there, Sir Pig.
I mean, you talk about North American 2s. This is somewhat become the basis in terms of the playstyle. It's really aggressive as that first man. Second man, a little bit more patient, waiting for those opportunities to present themselves, and they'll have the higher boost. They'll be able to make all those killer plays, and you've got Cheese and Talk in a roster. You do not want to give them time and space on the ball. And even when you have them in those tight positions, when you're playing for those 50-50s and those close beats, I can't think of many better players in this playlist than the likes of Talk especially.
They went 3-0 as we talk about in their Swiss stage. So this is a team that comprised of this roster of Cheese and Talk is one spicy quesadilla. And I think it's going to be very hard to find a hole in their defense and their offense there. I think very minimal. And that's the thing I like about Talk and Cheese. They're so consistent. And we're so glad to see RLTS 2v2 shining a light. As you mentioned in the previous pre-show, is the fact that it brings to light something that we doesn't really get to highlight is individual ability. It's chemistry, sure, don't get me wrong, it's a vital aspect of 2v2, but it just allows more of that 2v2 and individual ability to get that limelight for a bit more in comparison with the speediness and readiness you have in 3v3. But 2v2 is a bit more relaxed in that factor, but no less less entertaining.
And I would say more than any other region as well, North America definitely has a bit of an attention economy if you really want to get yourself into those top teams. And the chance to represent yourself in something that is RLCS sanctioned is going to be huge for the likes of Monk and Juice, who have been hovering around those fringe positions, certainly in main events, for quite some time, with Juice, of course, finding that little bit of consistency. But Monk himself is 16, Juice is 17 years old. Every single year, we're getting more and more players retire at the very top of North America, which for quite some time definitely felt like those spots were a lot more stuck for the foreseeable future. Now that you're seeing some of those opportunities open up, it's going to be the players like Juice, like Monk, that are going to try to steal those away from the old guard.
Yeah, the old guard, like, I love it. Sometimes old still shines as bright as gold here. And we've seen that in Chronic and Justin alongside Garrett G. This is the very roster we were crediting for being one of the only toughest competitions, the number 2 round in the Swiss stage that took them and forces this roster to commit to a reverse sweep here. Garrett G still has it. So we look at that, we have to credit the fact that even if the old guard is there, but you know, that's the experience that these two new names still require. They're not you know, like laden down or burdened. They still need to be malleable a little bit more, and credit with time, I think they should be able to reach up to that. But right now, I think we're still looking at some very, very good competition between every side. But we're looking at the bracket as well again, just to make sure that everybody gets a fresh idea for any other latecomers to the viewership of this stream as well. We do have Puffware taking on Genji Mobile, LC, which is LJ and Chronic versus Virtus Pro, Aw versus Juicer Monk, which is the very team we're actually going to be casting, and then Brania versus NRG. And for a future possible game, we're going to possibly have NRG, unless there's some upsets happening we don't even know about, Mr. Pig.
I mean, it's Kofa and Mech that NRG have to play against. If there was any 2 players that I believe could cause an upset in that matchup, of course, you're looking at the mechanical superstar of that very same name, another youngster here in this scene. It's a great sign seeing a lot of this youth in the group overall. Of course, you definitely have those players that have been here for a while, but you're looking at players like Talk, who for how long we've definitely been a part of this scene Ground Zero. For myself, it actually hasn't been all that long. I remember Talk growing in popularity in these past few seasons. I'm actually looking at him in this bracket and thinking, you're actually one of the more experienced players here. This is a bit more of an unfamiliar position for you, and now you have to prove it. And I think that opening series is actually going to be a great test of that responsibility.
I think that's probably one of the most apt responses and analyzations. I think, like, with Talk, he's such an incredible player. I think very hard to meet a talent like that just exploded into the scene, and he's kept that consistency. Like, surprising to a lot of people, I think some had some doubters, but this man has silenced them beyond any recognition that I don't see. Everyone's just singing his praises consistently, and that's what makes Talk such a formidable player. He has not allowed anything to tamper him, to hinder him. This man has just stayed up there where he has leveled himself out, become past that rookie status to come to the position he's in right now.
And we want to look at the other half of that coin on the roster as well. You're thinking of Cheese. In my eyes, a bit of an underrated player in the past few years. Oftentimes, I feel like he was harshly given the blame on some of his older rosters. But he has really come into his own ever since signing 4-Foot Esports. Of course, reunited alongside Justin as well for that lineup is always going to help in terms of the confidence, and a very experienced player in the likes of Chronic. But for me, this has been a huge season for Cheese. I've been really impressed with the way he's been playing. He's fighting to earn himself, of course, that spot in Worlds with that LCQ upcoming in the 3v3. He's one of the harder workers in the scene. It's nice to see that bit of personality in North America as well, because shout out the Justin Twitch channel. Those have been an excellent time when you see all the Foot Boys playing together.
Oh, it's fantastic. I think it was hard fought. I think it was fantastic, and we got to give credit to the very person who's actually in the chat, and that's actually Laugh himself, who were very funny stories, interactions with him behind the scenes in Discord. I think the way he posits himself on social media is a very different character from what I meet on Discord DMs. And let me tell you, it was a discussion on the day that after Sosa was rumored to leave the Foot Boys with his retirement, on the the Twitter posts just confirming the fact that the man was taking a hiatus, and then all of a sudden I just get a DM and I'm just coming on him. It's like, I just did the best deal anyone has ever done, and he's left me on air ever since then. At that moment, when before I saw the tweet from Foot, and it just comes out that Justin is joining, the very person I've dreamed of ever casting in my life, and that man is there in my lobby right now, and I'm the one supposed to be casting him. It is amazing. It was a fantastic opportunity, but like I said, we might be just glazing Justin a bit too much, even though it's not his stream. But this man,
no
Cheese, I think Cheese has gotten such a great repertoire with some fantastic talent like Chronic, and then supported in the back behind by Justin. And it has made Cheese just shine where he deserved to do so for so long. But at the same time, guys, we can't forget that the game's actually about to start pretty soon. We're going to move into the hype chamber as well. And speaking about hype, I am very hyped to see how well the boys do for today's GSL stage. We're going to start off in a very, very strong game versus Juice and Monk. And I am excited. Are you, Sir Pig?
Yes, sir, because ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Two players that have earned their spots to the very top. Talk a bit newer in the scene. He is now the man with experience, paired across the top cheddar man himself. Can they take down the first 2v2?
Let's hope that they can, because it is gonna be a bright day. Well, a bright night lit up on this for Manfield night for the starting game. And we do have our incoming rosters. Everyone prepared. The atmosphere electric, and we're hoping to see some very, very spicy moments and some clips as well at the same time from Cheese and Talk. And speaking of Talk, there is Talk's mother. Welcome in, Talk's mom. Thank you so much for joining our stream today.
And of course, we are casting for the team R. I hope for that to be more celebratory than in pity as the day continues. But when you have the likes of Talk and Cheese, you always feel like you are in good hands. They are the Goliaths in this matchup. It's time to set the tone. We have kickoff, and it's Monk with the first chance. Cheese makes that early save, and we don't waste any time getting any fireworks.
Not at all. The first 10 seconds have already started off with pressure in the blue half, but Talk regaining that possession back. There's a demo covering in, but Cheese there prepared. Midfield again. What I tell you about that midfield, you're going to see a lot of domination played out on that side. It is all about that midfield control, and Talk already blocking it. Good soft touch, collecting that midfield boost, leaving it all the way to Cheese to go for a solo attack, and then he's going to look for a cleanup. A bump there, maybe coming in from Cheese, and again, he's just marksmanship on Monk there. Juice, the only one to beat in the 1v1, and unfortunately, he does get blocked from that squishy save.
And this is the X factor this roster has. Knows how to play their opponents out of book. Monk keeps it simple, stays towards the ground, collects that 100 boost in the corner as well, and chances are all going to be solo. Talk is beat away, but it forces out that heavy touch. It's temporary turnover in possession already. You can feel that speed of Juice and Monk early in this top 16 matchup. This is why Or have to keep that concentration from the very start. Not going to get any opportunities out of this opening play. It's Monk yet again to take it high, but Talk should clean this one up.
Yeah, pretty easy clean up as well. He took out the trashes, going for a reverse counter already. Pinch off that bar. Shot it from Cheese, and that is in. The man with the shiny anodized foot decal here, brought to you by #Foot Esports for the win. And Juice, early pressure. Cheese with the finish, and there it is. Right to the back of the net. 1-0 already for Team Aw.
And it's the perfect advertisement as well. And of course, it's the man himself, Cheese, to get it started. I said, but I wanted them to take the initiative, set the tone in this series. And scoring the first goal will certainly help their case. 100 boost on that back left. Or having those mechanics to go the full way. There's the first reset. The double tap won't break free of the crossbar. Monk is going to get bumped off the play as well. And Juice and Monk have been sent another tester.
Yeah, well, it looks like they're failing their test, that's for sure. Right now, Talk controlling this off the backboard. Struggling a little bit with the lack of boost that he has, but 27 immediately called out by Cheese to let him through. And he finds a gap there. That's a big fake on Juice there, and it looks like you might just see a shot coming from Talk, but the pressure just slaps it off the backboard, and out it goes. Cheese under control off that ramp. A lot of action in the right wing of this lobby here, but Talk again coming in heavy from that ceiling, trying to get that double tap. He's looking for those early goals again. They want the second just to familiarize himself with that position, just trying to take those early leads against the opposition, getting bumped off by, I believe that was Talk in midfield there. Cheese again, just hinders progression, and Talk for the finisher, and this one will go wide, unfortunately.
And it was a delayed start to head into this first series of Group B. And you can feel that at moments it's been a shock to the system. Some of those double taps, which will be a guaranteed goal a bit later in the day. Still getting warmed up as of now, and that keeps on a sensitive scoreline. Back to equality, and it's Juice to earn it against both opponents.
1-0 is always a fickle goal. I will never stop calling it out, but looking at this, you just can't help but realize that even if how good a team you can credit it to be, they have to watch out for any pushback here. We finally saw some from Juice and Monk, though it took some time, nearly half the game gone here, but we do see themselves at least push back by 1. It doesn't look like they're gonna be able to do much just yet. Maybe Talk there, passed up from Cheese. What an angle! He just places that comfortably bottom right.
And I wonder where this stream is getting restreamed to. Talk seems to be very aware. Juice on 0 boost, forced to commit early. It's perfect positioning, and it's those isolating positions which those with more experience are going to punish with greater consistency. Talk and Cheese already living up to that pedigree.
Yeah, this is high tier pedigree, that's for sure. Cheese now looking for an opportunity, but Monk biding out his time, trying to keep that ball close. Possession is such a key factor in 2v2. Cheese slaps it away. A good clearance there in a time that's filled with pressure. Cheese, look at that. It's just such synchronized rotation. Cheese with the flick. Bar down and out it goes, but he was able to just scrape that ball for a skim there. Monk off that high wall, looking for that. Clear it out. They're just desperate for any removal of pressure from their half right now, and it's Talk immediately clearing it out again. Cheese for the redirect. Nearly got that past the midfield line again. It's just all over Juice and Monk right now, and then I have to say, it just seems to be that they're under a full blanket of pressure. A blanket is a comfortable thing usually, but right now it feels like they're just not able to deal with the heat here.
And you can see the layer of confidence that Aura have been playing with. A few challenges which a more conservative team with let's roll over. This is not one of those rosters. They're gonna pounce quick if they see you as a less experienced side, a bit weaker than them. They will keep you guessing in quick time. I'm not sure if that'll work against some of the tougher teams later, especially the likes of NRG. But you also have to bring the game to them. And a matchup like this, where you're playing in the driver's seat, is certainly going to give them that confidence. 30 seconds left to go. They're knocking on the door of equality, but it's 100 boost for Talk. Yet again, full distance of the pitch still to go. Bumped off is Juice for the boom. Low boost for the Juice and Monk defense, but they just need to waste time. A goal would certainly secure it, but this is where you feel the brunt end of the risk. 10 seconds left. Juice and Monk in possession. One demo, a 1v1, but Talk is worth extra. Back into that corner, the opener looking to find its closure, but it's Juice again with a full tank of boost. One final Hail Mary denied by Awe.
Will be exclaiming, another win comes in for the first starter of this best of 5, and we already start leading by 1. What a beginning starter course here for us right now versus Juice and Monk. Though they have tried their best, but with only 1 goal here, and look at that separation of points, with Talk taking the lead by quite a margin, and both of them reaching nearly around 500 points, while the other side just trailing behind less than 200. But look at these clips, look at these shots, and look at this placement of pressure. Talk and Cheese, like I said, you just can't ask for a better do when it comes to pressure like this. They will lead by a massive gap.
Aww, look how good they are. They're having fun out there in the first game, playing with so much confidence, going for every single ball. Maybe sometimes they didn't, but they're just that good. They're just that good. They're fantastic. But still got more games to go. And I told you that Juice and Monk were going to be a tester in this series. Only a 1 goal difference there to make the difference in that first matchup. And that is going to be the caliber and more that are going to have to play with if they want to contest against not only the likes of NRG. I mean, there's still a chance that it's Kofa and Mech, and that's not going to be a slouch matchup either.
Not at all. I think whatever we do, whoever we face, it's going to be competition, and I think this is a roster that needs a bit of a challenge right now. Juice and Monk, like I said, credit to the boys. They're definitely one of my favorite players. You're definitely for Juice as well. He's been making some very, very good moves, especially with Calm in the recent return for RLCS 3v3. But this is 2v2. It's a whole more different. You chose to decide to go ahead and choose Monk here. Well, you're going to have to face the other end of this very, very powerful punch that Cheese and Talk carry. This is a very, very spicy roster as mentioned, and it's a very, very spicy meal. Can you handle it? Can your taste buds be prepared for a double tap? Oh, that was so close. Good block off there by Monk, but it's only delaying the inevitable.
Talk takes it high. Options on that back ball. Doesn't get the bomb, but a back pass is going to be enough for Cheese. It's an explosive start to game 2. And already you can feel Monk and Juice put in the blender.
They tried. They really tried. And credit where credit is due. They are really doing a good job of stopping. The clips are against them, but they just can't stop that chemistry that is rife with availability between these two. But unfortunately, unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, sometimes the mistakes do occur. The Cheese has holes. Unfortunately, that's the one mistake you're going to see, but it's already a tie in the first minute.
Look, they play with risks. And sometimes you are going to feel the brunt end of that. I'm not sure the potential reward there was worth the early challenge. But either way, you're still back, or when they're in that equal position, it's when they start to fall to deficits that you get a little bit concerned. But Cheese has time to take on his lone serve. It's back towards that corner. Monk is going to be that option on the overlap. The catch is good, but it's moving wide. Has to cut inside. And Cheese will disallow that option. Talk from deep. It's on off the post. Cheese gets that one top cheddar.
Now that is how you do some placements. Pinch off that sidewall. Cheese was feeling a bit confident, but even then he was just there in case, and it looks like his in case was more than reality, because it bounced off that post, was going to go out, but luckily for us, we'll break that tie. But it's only been past a minute. We've already seen this roster from the other side. Their opponents have come back with a nice little one goal here. But that's only half that delivery from the end here. From the end product, we still do see the very same scoreline from the previous game. And talking Cheese, look at that. What did I say about that second man bump? It's so vital you guys understand what 1v1 versus 2v2 versus 3v3 rotations is comprised of. That second man is far more important than your first man. But your first man always has to be available, always has to be so good at executing bumps on the attacker. But there's no one to stop Juice there on his tirade. He just got a full field gifted to, and that's Juice with a simple delivery. Put that one comfortably, and that's 2-2.
And Monk made that so awkward for the second man of Ore on the goal line. Had to make that decision early. And it was like you were playing a game of rock, paper, scissors. They showed their hand first, and they know the easy pick there. Just send that one low if they go high. 2-2. Like I said, it's not until those deficits where I really start to get concerned, because you have players of this skill caliber that can take it the full distance. This is going to be a composed touch towards that back wall. A full tank of boost, an opportunity to sweep forward, and we know Talk has the talent, but Juice gets that block.
Yeah, great play on the defense. Juice and Monk looks like they've managed to catch themselves in this one. Or they just realized that they need to stop Cheese, especially, but here he is. No one to stop him again. That's the flip reset pop. Talk with the finisher, and that's just a simple pop over. He's got no one to stop him. Talk every single time. We've seen him in game 1. We've seen him again. All Cheese has to do is send the defense once, and they start shaking in their boots there, leaving Talk to finalize the removal of those very said boosts. 3-2 for Talk and Cheese.
There's weight in the name tags above the Phoenix of Cheese and Talk. They've earned that respect over their seasons at the top of the RLCS. It makes defenses a bit more jumpy. There's a mental factor at play, and when Talk and Cheese have control, they're charging towards you. You're just going to make that guess. Maybe against any other opponent, you go for that same play, and that's not going to yield the same result. But Talk and Cheese have earned that respect from their opponents. Juice and Monk still have to earn that spot at the top level.
Yeah, it takes a lot more. It's the court of the people that decided all right now, and the court of the people have decided that they're supporting Team with Cheese and Talk right now, delivering the lead by only a hair length of a difference. Maybe just the acceleration to the second was very close there. The silver lining was the fact that Juice and Monk were able to stop it this time, but Cheese regaining that back off the ceiling, playing this one high, Mr. Stuck to the top of his car like glue, and unfortunately will be saved nonetheless by good defensive plays from the opponents. Juice and Monk still able to keep it out, but this is now Talk. And I want to call back to something Arsenal told me back when I was casting some early show matches with 2v2s, and he taught me a very vital thing, that the 2v2s in NA aren't the conventional rotations you're going to see. You're going to see a lot more aggression. You're going to see focus up closeness, like a play like that. What a pass from Top from the ceiling. Pitched it to add the unexpected factor there for the last man defender, which was Monk, and it's an easy cleanup there for Cheese once again.
But they earned the risk. You saw Talk take it up the wall. He'd already beaten one man. All that leaves is a 2v1. And Cheese knows that ball is coming in from the corner. Worst case scenario, if the defense hits it, it's going to go back towards that wall. And he has the momentum to turn. Very intelligent coming from all. Those are the positions that they are going to recognize quicker than any other team. This is an isolator. The shot is difficult, but Monk still forced to make that double save, and now he's low boost.
Yeah, that's the thing. You force such heavy plays, it clears out the boost, makes easy pickings of the opposite team. We saw this earlier, literally just a minute ago, that this was 3-2. They have gone beyond, off the charts, to make sure that they solidify, cement this win in the history books here. Team 5-2 now with only a minute remaining, and I don't think there's really much life or juice in this case left from Juice and Monk.
Game started close. It was back and forth, and Juice and Monk were really piling the pressure. But you've started to see the scales tip now. A 3-goal deficit faces against Juice and Monk. 40 seconds to go, and it looks more likely to increase than decrease, especially when Talk finds position off the ceiling. Cheese, quick to pound, still has boost, chases down, holds that boost button. But Juice manages to make the save, and they don't have the resources to escape.
That's going to be an opening for the double tap. No, doesn't even require that. Just goes bars down. Oh my god, no way. Oh, there we go. Jeez. That was close. That was very close. I was going to give credit to Talk. Yeah, very cute. Very, great goal there coming in from the roster. But I'm not going to lie. That was just up to the chance, to the fact that the ball was just requiring one more pixel to deliver this as a solidified win again. 6-2. And you talked about accelerating that scoreboard. That's what Team do. It's Cheese and Talk. If you weren't expecting some high-scoring games where they're dominating over their opponents, I don't know which team stream you're watching right now, but it's not ours, and it's not Cheese and Talk, that's for sure. But let's just talk also at the same time. Now that the game is delivering, they were trying to go for a pinch at the end there, maybe? Oh, that's unfortunate. Couldn't finish it off with a pinch there pass, read off the waterfall down. I guess Talkers wasn't cursing there for that goal, but there's another game win. It's 2-0 right now versus Juice and Monk here. And Sir Pegasus, we are on the cusp. Well, we're already actually on the finish line here. We're on the cusp of match point. One more game is all that's going to even decide the finish line as well. And look at that. Look at those score point differences right now, man.
And it got a lot more convincing in that second game compared to the first. The momentum is certainly in their favour. And you look at these two players, if I could compare them to a real-life animal, it would be a leopard. Did you know that leopards don't roar? They meow. There is a bit of cuteness about them. They have that bubbly personality. They've got that cuteness about them. But they are still fierce, speedy predators. That is what I'm seeing in this series so far. Cheese and Talk playing with so much aggression off the pitch and not giving Juice and Monk that moment to breathe. But you just can't help but root for them in any single occasion. And sometimes you look at the way they play, sometimes you look at them off the pitch as well, and all you can say is,
oh, there we go.
There we go. There we go.
Well, the roster has done very well, and I talked about that midfield control, and I was not wrong. You see Talk and Cheese all over. They are blocking any avenues, any potholes that Juice and Monk could make use of, and there's no advantage that I see them either side, and any opportunity really trying to take advantage of or being given for free. That's what makes Talk and Cheese so formidable and such annoying players to play against, because that's the thing I was talking about, those unconventional rotations. They are so close, and they play very similarly, that the thin line between EU and NA, I think at the top really gets like thinned out here. And when we talk about thin out, there's that defense getting thinned out again from Juice and Monk. That's an easy goal there for Talk and Cheese once again. Good pass there, lob up from Monk, and that's going to be the finisher there from Talk. Just a scrape there. Unfortunately, last man defender Juiced wasn't enough to stop it.
They've been on the hunt this entire series. Now it's time to go for the kill. Game 1 was close. Game 1 was a feeling out period. You could feel that extend into the second game as well for the first half. But that ship has sailed. And we are back to the top of North America. Virtus Pro and FUT representatives combining. These were the two organizations with a chip on their shoulder. These were rivals at the end of that second split. If you were looking at the points margins, that doesn't matter anymore. And when you see these two titans clash, dare stand in their way.
From harsh enemies to closest of allies. That is how you know they will have your back. Because there's a level of respect you just can't help but admire from each other here. There is another clincher. Monk just stepped up and just gave it away to Cheese on a silver platter, and this talk with the finisher just slices that one in. Call that one Swiss cheese. 3-0 again, and it's only been a minute for Pink.
Swiss cheese, but there's no holes in his game right now.
Nope.
3-0 to the good. Stepping up as time goes on, almost found another. Talk is still in the area though. And Cheese doesn't jump too early. Saves the boost of the tank, is able to steal a little bit extra as well. That was an opportunity to concede that run away from Juice and Monk.
Oh, wow. They're playing from
But
the
now
ceiling.
it's Talk to send it along.
good
Cheese is up
block.
on the ceiling. And you can make those risks when you give yourself such a lead. But you've still got 3 minutes 45 to go, setting up nicely for what is a potential NRG or Bronyan opposition.
Yeah, we're looking at the state of this gameplay, and this gives me enough time just to look at that start.gg page for a quick flash second to make sure I don't miss on any action. There's been no games that's been registered, but what I'm looking at it right now is that those games are close. But unfortunately for Juice and Monk, ain't nothing close about this one. Another 4th goal here, and they are losing themselves. What made them so good in the first game was their confidence, and that has just died down as the scoreline has increased.
Well, we waited quite some time to get this series started and assume this one does result in a sweep. We're going to be waiting a little longer. Bronyan and NRG are equal in the series score with 1 apiece. And I did mention that Kofa and Mech were certainly not to be underestimated in that matchup, unfortunately.
Oh, wow.
With the recent form we have seen from NRG as well, and of course the brilliance those two have in 2v2. But who's to say this is over yet? 3 minutes, just a goal a minute needed without any concessions. Actually, no, that does sound pretty tough out loud.
But 4-1, 3 minutes remaining, and if we're looking at the exponential chart, and it's been exponential, that is the only way you could describe this game right now. The predictions can come up to near the double digits or pass beyond the double digits, going into the 20s if I felt so much, if I was felt like that they had more time to offer themselves. But it's obvious that they're playing more ball for keeps here, maybe just going for clips as we saw. It's all for entertainment factor. They know they've won this game, but Juice and Monk doesn't mean that they won't be hot on their tail. Talking in the midfield, blocking that, and just using the momentum of the ball there to block it off and just kill it immediately using the underside of his car. That is the ingenious that makes him separate from plebeians like myself and GC3 there. Sir Pig, and we've had experience clashing each other multiple times, but the clash right now between these two is on a whole nother level, and Cheese and Talk, who can stop them? Well, we don't know just yet. 2 minutes 23 seconds remaining.
Talk takes it high, burns a lot of boost to get himself up in the first place. The flip reset goes down, and just isn't able to force this one through, though Cheese steals back possession. You saw Monk tempting himself for a touch, couldn't sweep out of defense. This is how you punish. It's that everlasting offense when all find themselves in rotation. They both got boost. Talk doesn't have a reset, will try and sneak it under, and Cheese is already ready on that rotate. That corner boost steal, though, is vital for Juice and Monk to ignite their own counter-attack. Juice using that very same 100 to land this shot, but it's not going to be enough to tempt Talk.
No, he will not fall for that bait, no matter how juicy it might be. There's Cheese again, and those are the Falcon-like strategies. I love to see people incorporating some fantastic strategies like this. It's all about that call-off, that one momentary split that decides who's going for the ball there. And the communication, you can tell from Talk and Cheese, is seeming very, very comfortable. Not just the lead, but at the same time, look at this chemistry. Look at the camaraderie from arch rivals, some bitter enemies to very, very close friends, decided to team up like this. And this is the thing about 2v2s that I really like, is you don't get to see these unconventional matchups unless there's a roster window opening. But that only happens seasonally. This is happening daily whenever the RLCS 2v2 and 1v1 has been decided upon. You see moments like these that will never happen otherwise, and you get to see some great chemistry as well. 4-1, Juice and Monk unfortunately will have to face the ends of the lower bracket as a 3-0 sweep comes in, and Cheese and Talk trying to set themselves up with a record that's equal, nor close enough, was equal to the 44-1 that Zen and Atal set and decided in RLCS 2v2 EU.
And we see the score settle to the exact same scoreboard we saw 2.5 minutes ago. Or have done well to just slow down this game. They haven't taken too many risks. They've kept the ball moving. They've kept Juice and Monk constantly guessing. They haven't just given away any possession for free. And that's allowed them to ride this game out. Even if there is a goal in these last 15 seconds, the experience has shown from Art Hold on, 30 seconds. There is opportunities here for some kickoff trickery. I know you like your 1v1s, but there's definitely some 2v2 setups that are readily available as well.
Yes, sir, but... Well, with 30 seconds left, can you really call them any trickery that isn't a magic trick that's too late there in this situation? Well, I call it so. There's 10 seconds remaining. There's a block there. Good block as well, to be fair to...
Oh?
They're not even deciding to go for the free open end. There's no punishment from them. They're very merciful characters. That's what I like to see about Talk. And G's there. They will apply it when decided. But that's it. GG's. And he's the finisher. Monk slaps to the ceiling. And that's game over. Team Aw will be your winners with a 3-0 sweep. Started us off strong with a very, very resounding win as well at the winners quarterfinals, Sir Pig.
I mean, Juice on Monk, though, continued to flex their promise to reach the top of North America. But the Leopards on the opposite side had already earned their spots. And it just continued to be more and more of a convincing outcome. They definitely ended this one a lot calmer than they did the second. They played a lot more game management, and that is going to be an extremely important factor when you're looking into that next series, which is going to be a significantly tougher matchup if we're talking about the already established RLCS pedigree. Whether that is NRG or Sunyan, I mean, that is still left to be decided.
Yep, and if we take a quick look at the bracket again to rehash some people's memories, especially if they came in a little bit late to the stream here, we do have Gen G taking on La Fuera. That's 2-1. LC versus Virtus Pro, that is also 2-1. And we are currently the only team that has gone 3-0 to face the whatever the winner between Bronian and NRG will be in the upper finals. Knocking down is you're going to see, of course, Juice and Monk, and that will be decided after quite some time to see which teams that we face off here, but it is a very, very close couple of games with Brunion and NRG. Definitely one of the most ripest matchups I've ever seen for sure. And Kofor and Mech are doing very, very well to push it into, well, game 3 overtime. And it's been over 30 seconds now that they face each other off, but no clear winner just yet, Mr. Pig.
Yeah, well,
I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon. Sorry, apologies.
Oh.
Overtime is the worst overtime goal I've ever seen in my life.
Unfortunate. But Puffwera there, taking a game off Gen G Mobile 1. That's Tavaristo and Juji. I've heard that they are big twos menaces. I've seen them quite a lot on the Justin streams at those top levels. This has been an opportunity to flex their muscles. Like I say, those ranked grinders that you always see in 2v2 now have a chance to show themselves off in RLCS. That is definitely going to be one to look out for later. But ladies and gentlemen, we do have a matchup to wait for, and whilst we await that matchup, we're going to have a very short break. It was a promising start for the Experience, Cheese and Talk in the opening series of the day, but they are not going to see any lapse of experience on that opposite side, especially should it be the reigning world champions. However, we've got faith in our boys over here on this stream. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you after the break.
Yes, sir.
I'm searching for the break of a day to follow away to you. 'Cause at the end of the day, I ain't looking for no reason to change. 'Cause everything is good for you. Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the Baby, I can see we're gonna shout it out to the sky. Tell our secrets to the night, so we can see the end inside. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. When I look into your eyes, I can see no better light, better light than love. We're gonna shout it out to the sky. need you. Ooh, I love you, love you. I do need you, need you. I do, I love you, I do need you. I love you, love you. I do need you. Ooh, I love you, I do need you.
Similarities stand between the Swiss stage and the GSL, but the stakes are higher and the chances are fewer. Win your first series, chances are that second one's going to be even tougher, and that reigns even truer over here in the second upper final of Group B. Or take that qualification after an opening sweep versus the likes of Juice and Monk. There was a lack of experience on that opposition, but there is certainly no lack for the reigning world champions.
Not at all. Brunyan losing out 3-1. They kept it tight versus NRG, but they just can't beat the dynamic duo of Daniel and Beast Mode. Some of the top tier 2's players, but they're facing off our very top 2-tier players as well here. It's Team Aw with Cheese and Talk here, and we've already talked about everything. We've sung their praises until our throats have hurt. Here's Sir Pig, and this team is now facing the brunt of the heat. The flames are flickering and the sparks are of course sparkling, and the flame is lit for the upper finals. The only thing that's standing between us right now and a upper finals qualification is gonna be NRG, and they're energetic for this opportunity, and this is gonna be a great series as well. You know, let's talk about Beast Mode and Daniel and how well their success story has been up until here.
Well, do they really need an introduction? It's World Championship pedigree. Their names wave on the flag of Champions Field. Beast Mode and Daniel have been a duo for quite some time. We look a few seasons back and it was almost guaranteed that these two would team eventually. Back when Daniel was on Space Station Gaming and Beast Mode was on V1, we felt like if this duo would meet, it would be an unstoppable force in North America. And well, they've been exactly that, one of the more modern dynasties in Rocket League history. However, there have certainly been some cracks in the armor in recent times. That's left room for more competition at the top of this region and at the top of Rocket League, and Cheese and Talk have to smell that blood in the water.
Oh, they do. No dynasty lasts for too long. There's Sir Pig. Eventually, the pillars crumble. Eventually, they crack. And behind it, to fill the vacuum, comes a new shining bright light. And that name, and golden, embraced, enshrined, is gonna be Cheese and Talk. They've faced off against Kofer and Mech, some of the most gassiest Fuse players there, and some of the most aggressive to name as well. So a player that's heavily defensive focused, such as Daniel, and someone who can clean up a very, very good first man is gonna be Beast Mode, facing off someone who I feel like is gonna be a very, very mirror-like battle. This is like facing yourself. They're punching yourself and expecting a different response. It's only that's gonna do nothing more than crack that frame. And between Cheese and Talk, I think it's gonna be a very difficult game to find ourselves. Might even be pushed to game 5 overtime. That's what I'm predicting for now. But like we talked about the reality of Rocket League, one can never predict what can happen. I guess those players have something else to say.
I've said it every stream I've been on in the past few weekends. Rocket League is not decided on paper, it's decided on the pitch. And I feel like for many people, NRG will be the favourites in this matchup. Okay. There are definitely a few questions of their recent form, especially in 3v3s, but their 2v2 is pretty darn close to undeniable. Cheese and Talk, though, especially Talk, I see as a bit of a specialist in this playlist, and with how much success he has already found in 3v3, that is certainly saying something. But you also look at that lower bracket. Say there is a relegation here for R, it is likely going to be a bit of a teammate clash against Virtus Pro for the likes of Talk.
When it comes to Talk, man, like, you just can't help but feel for him, because like the split ends when it comes to splitting teams, normal rosters, because you'd expect there's always one man left. And well, I guess it was the case for Talk here, but he's already found himself a very good replacement. It's Cheese there already sporting it, but you see Juice and Monk versus Brunyan. Well, they faced against one Titan. There was Goliath here in this case, and I don't think they're ready to face off another one in the lower semifinals. Well, you know, like we talked about, you just can't predict what could happen. But Kofer and Mech are a force to be reckoned with. But Pafuera versus Virtus Pro, I'm seeing that go all the way possibly to game 4. But you know, like we said, we just can't talk about it for too much. But it's a very, very easy bet for me to say. But Gen G Mobile versus LC there, Sir Pig, that is a very interesting game.
That's going to be a fun one to watch. LJ and Chronic teaming up for that against a Gen G team that is Magic Bear and Frosty. Of course, there have definitely been whispers around the organization and the form that they found in 3v3, but again, you got Magic Bear and Frosty in 2v2. It is a completely different competition, especially in a lot of these major regions like North America, like Europe. For me, especially in North America, there's a bit of difference in class between how these players play in threes, and as well, Ground Zero, this is for a world spot. It is number 1 or bust. There are not 6 opens for 2v2.
No, not at all. It's a very, very tight fit to get some of the best talent, the upper pedigree when it comes to the cream of the crop here. And I don't think we're bereft of any talent. We are not at all lacking when it comes to some of the best known names here for sure, especially within this very lobby itself. I don't think it's a matchup a lot of people were expecting to see right off the bat. This is more something you see on the main day, on something maybe more further into the weekend. Hell, even tomorrow, if I do say so myself. But right now, you're already seeing a very electric game here. And well, the sparks are ready to fly. We're just waiting for the lobby itself to get ready. In the meantime, a lot of factors that go into it, so patience is key, and it also at the same time is a virtue. Us for here right now, we're hoping for a great game, man. We came off a good one, a very, very strong warm-up against Juice and Monk, but well, we juiced as much as we could, but unfortunately there's nothing left to, you know, juice there. It's just gone dry on that first one, so we're gonna have to see what else is left. But we look at this, and I'm very much keeping a very tight eye on that second man position. It's gonna be a good clash between Daniel and Cheese here. So it's the battle of the second man that's gonna be of importance. Does Daniel give enough space to beast mode, or does Talk at all just continuously go for bumps or demos? There's a lot of different ways you can approach twos, and that's what makes twos such a very likable playlist, but at the same time the most hated as well. It's a very awkward juxtaposition, isn't that right, Sir Pig?
Certainly, and you've also got who in that last series were able to outpace their opponents in almost every single opportunity. You're not going to have that same privilege against Beast Mode and Daniel. I'll be very interested to see how their 3v3 will translate to 2v2. They've at times had a bit of a defensive play style, but that has started to shift as time goes on. But this is a duo that has had experience as a duo, so that is going to be chemistry for this playlist specifically.
Yeah, I think that's what I love about 2v2s. You just see something so unconventional that you just don't see in 3v3s in comparison. There's just so much less time left in the air that this time in comparison, you're gonna see a lot more flying eagles here in this case. These are predators on the field here for tonight, and not one player here doesn't have a very, very high degree of capabilities. But speaking about capabilities, we're capable now, ready and prepared to cast for this as we move into the lobby, and we are gonna see ourselves take on NRG, Sir Pig.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, form is temporary, class is permanent. just like the ink that stains the rafters over on Champions Field, Beast Mode and Daniel have cemented their spot in RLCS history. The inaugural 2v2 event ignites here in North America, a region known for this specific playlist. Zen and Atal await with their world spot already guaranteed. Could this be the team to beat, or will Cheese and Talk prove themselves in an entirely new playlist? Ladies and gentlemen, the wait is over for an express ticket to top 6. There's only 2 seats. We have kickoff and the opening goal from Daniel.
Well, Daniel, you can't ask for a better kickoff than this right now between Beast Mode and Daniel. That one just squeezed it out immediately to the high of the ceiling there, mid of the lobby. An immediate 3-second goal here for NRG. Exactly the beginning that they like to have. They like to get a comfortable pocket goal here. But Cheese and Talk ain't gonna let that rest for too long, as Beast Mode now trying to label pressure. Then maybe the second goal already. And wow, that is just class from Beast Mode and Daniel right now.
It's whiplash. It's a completely different change of pace from the first series we've had. If you talk about warm-ups, what a warm-up NRG had. Found some pace, especially in that 4th game where it looked like they were going to go to game 5 against Kofa and Mech. You can't question the strength of opposition in their first round. They've been gifted quite a tough run to achieve that top 6 in the first place.
Ooh.
But with that, that's got them ripe and ready for a match against Cheese and Talk.
Got bump from Talk there. Cheese waiting patiently. Daniel just tried to retain as much boost as he possibly could. Sees Beast Mode just grasp on for a moment before he leaves it immediately. Cheese there getting a very easy touch. That's up in the air. Glue to the top. Smacked away by Daniel. But Talk maybe with that demo pass there to Cheese. And Beast Mode on the goal line saves it.
Back down to Daniel. And he can make a lot of work from his own corner. Beast Mode with low boost. Going to have to play with a layer of efficiency. Daniel doesn't have much to support behind him. Now eliminated. Gets to choose where he spawns, but a bump is attempted there by Talk. Doesn't land on Daniel. Recovery's there and it's immediately sent back towards the other side. It's going to be constant transitions in possession between R and NRG. And you've got to make sure that you've got that timing perfect on the rotate.
Yeah, especially that midfield sees action there from Talk. Cheese there prepared. Maybe the double tap might save the second. What the first goal here after so long. Took them nearly 2 minutes just to get that first goal. But finally, that 50 from Talk there prepares Cheese for that double tap. And this is what I told about that camaraderie between Cheese and Talk. Team finally get themselves a goal, slicing that lead in half. But right now, that's only the beginning for this very, very exciting game between NRG and us right now. But Talk now forced to defend this, and there's a demo against them.
And it's back up to Beast Mode off the ceiling. Doesn't catch this one for a reset instead. Keeps it close in possession. Wants the bump. Opens up the space. And Daniel will immediately grip back that 2-goal lead they had only mere seconds before. And that comes off the back of a wonderful individual effort from Beast Mode.
Well, you just can't help but adore Beast Mode there. You might just not want to love him because of the opposite side, a change of color, separating choices and opinions, but you just gotta admire and respect how efficient he is. A solo play bump on 2 men of the level of Cheese and Talk to get a simple goal here, and that's gonna be an easy air dribble through, smack that in, and there's Beast Mode again. The main man I was crediting gets an easy play. Dean Daniel, this is just prime Daniel again.
Well, it's your RLCS 2025 NA MVP paired alongside the RLCS 2025 season MVP on the side of NRG. And that's when you already take away the accolade of becoming world champions. Knew they were going to be in for a tough ride. That hasn't seen them slow down the pace offensively. They get their own back, a taste of their own medicine. The bump will open up for Talk.
Looks like they had enough of those bumps and decided to give them a smackdown here. Cheese. That man's like a lawnmower mowing them down, especially Daniel just giving a free open net to Talk. And unfortunately for Beast Mode, especially tried off that backboard, he just couldn't stop the player that is Talk for the cleanup crew. That is Cheese and Talk doing a very, very good job here. Talk again. This man is speedy, looking for those blocks any single moment where he can snap that connection between Daniel and himself. There's Cheese for the third.
And they're starting to ramp up
What a
They can
soft
feel
touch.
the change in play. That is a crazy touch coming from
Wow.
Cheese to get that third goal as well. You look at that clock as well. 2 minutes 43 still to go. Only one the distance, and are actually the team on a ramp up.
But will it be enough? It's only one goal separating, but
Whoa.
sometimes it's enough. Wow, what a save. Cheese now trying to keep it close. The one advantage that Beast Mode and Daniel really have over them is their boost management. Talk there might just find it, but Beast Mode clears it out, pass it to Daniel. This will be a very, very difficult goal to save for Cheese. Talk is back just in time, but Cheese is in front of him a little bit there, trying to get in his way of his rotation. Cheese again, forces just shimmy on down to that corner. Doomsday dish failed from Daniel, and he smacks it out wide. Beast Mode looking to apply pressure again. Fakes out one, but not enough really to stop Talk there. In the midfield, going to the ceiling high. There's not enough boost, and there's going to be the force there. Beast Mode on low boost as well. Same as Talk, but the big advantage he has is Cheese's second man positioning. Always so prepared. There's a pass up there. Lob to Talk. Talk in the corner. Beast Mode gets it back, but there's a pinch from Talk. Daniel always prepared off that backboard. Cheese, big pre-jump. Yes, he the block there. Yes, he will. Cheese there again, successful, just hindering all the plays at the way that the very spotlight Beast Mode and Daniel were taking earlier in the last 3 minutes has been overtaken now. They're overrun, and this is a whole different show between themselves and Team Aw.
You can talk about quantity of possession. There's been a clear difference in quality as well. In the few moments that Aw have found themselves in that opposing half, it doesn't have that same layer of venom that NRG have had every single time. You feel like it could be in the back of your net. Beast Mode collects his hat trick. The prolific nature returns.
Well, that's one way to sink your fangs back into Team Aw. And it's a bloodbath out there with NRG, though it's by 2 goals that they're leading. It just feels like such a wide berth there between us and them, but it's the first game, and even then, Team Aw have shown some very, very good formidability, but it's just 1 second scratch differences every single time that's thinning themselves out. Talk there for the solo play, pinches off the backboard there with Beast Mode, and Cheese taking his time. Trying to find a hole there in the defense, but that's the thing about Daniel. He can play that second man position, wait for so long that it feels like an error can go behind him, but maybe Cheese Talk for the finish up, and it's not going to happen. He controls this still for the flick. That's a fantastic one, but again, Beast Mode's defense. He is such an amazing character to have. This man can go from an offense to defense at the flip of a switch, and 30 seconds remain as Talk clears it up high. Cheese again for the bump. Talk lynches it down, but it's just not enough there. Cheese trying to reroute it there for the pass to Talk. It's going to be blocked by Beast Mode. That's an open net because no one from Team Aw has boost at all to block this.
Talk takes it high now. Will reset his flip on the ceiling. Cheese is already up. Has to go for a miracle in the final seconds. But this is a first game decided. NRG kicked into gear extremely early in this potential final series for themselves. So you saw that middle game, were able to find some of those counter-attacking opportunities, picked up the quality a lot more in the final third, but it's about maintaining that for the full 5 minutes. There's no excuses now for the rest of the series. You're not in that best of 7 period yet. You have to pick up this next game.
That's the thing about the differences between these 2 levels of skill. To be fair, it's not a result that's too unexpected to say that NRG were going to take it. These 2 are named some of the one of the best seeds for NA 2v2 itself. But like you said, that middle of that game saw a whole different scope here coming in from our side. Team Aw were doing so well. We started dominating that midfield, and that's where it really made the difference. And NRG were letting up. They were letting in gaps where they shouldn't have been. And I felt like this could have been a game that stretched all the way through thin, where we kept seeing goals upon goals upon goals in favor for NRG. But right now, the big shift that needs to happen is that focus in defense from Team Aw. Right? That's the only area I really feel ourselves have started taking a really big dip, which otherwise was our main factor that really derived our wins last time.
I was a little bit surprised by the statistics after the game being so equal between these 2 teams, because in the eye test, that was all NRGs. I felt like they had more time past the halfway line. They were piling shots on nets, not many actually crediting to save to R, because just a few off the backboard, attempted off the back wall, going for those second man reads instead. but it really kept our guessing most of the time. It's a time to keep NRG guessing. It's a great catch from Cheese. The bump is there. Beast mode with no boost. Will not tip that over the bar. It's the first lead of the series for R, and it comes early in the second game.
Well, that's one way to flip the switch on there. This is a team that's prepared, and I was hoping, and this is what I was thinking, I was theorizing that they're trying to keep their stamina. They know they're in for a long game here, so why not try and drive out the horse and exhaust it out early? So in this case, the NRG one, or whoever you bet it on between these two, NRG tired out early first, forcing a lot of goals against us, and Team A here have managed to conserve enough. Talk there for the opening again from the sidewall, take the play from the left wing, and there's the second goal. This is a team that has decided to play a whole different ball game in game number 2.
And I set the stakes for this second game. It is must win for R. No one reverse sweeps NRG. Many have tried. Many have fallen victim. And in this second game, 2-0 for R early on. An opportunity to make it free as well, but it is a 200 boost defense to clear this ball out that quickly. Converts to something a bit more offensive. Daniel has space. Cheese has to jump early off that back wall. And that makes the decision all too easy for Daniel. It was forced out by that bump attempt from Beast Mode. But I felt like that was a bit more of a fear factor than actually anything palpable.
Yeah, no, it's just, you gotta just credit Daniel's field awareness. He knew that Beast Mode was pressuring him. He knew Cheese had to jump off early, so all he had to do was make sure he was getting that key important touch. That just lobbed it straight over Cheese's end. That was an easy done shut case there from the side of Daniel, but he's back again for more. One flip reset. He knows how to use it. There's the second, and there's a tie within the minute.
No lapses of concentration allowed when you're against NRG. Daniel showing off a lot of that individual excellence. Cheese is caught just a few unreal units past his back post, and that will make the difference. Daniel was the former top of every single playlist. He was actually the first ever SSL 1v1 player, and you can definitely see the experience in that strike.
Yeah, he's making sure you understand why he is at the top. Block there, Daniel. Oh, what a powerful shot. Just sends that one through again. And that is how you take the lead and you grasp it on side. Beast Mode even makes his mistakes. Looks like it's all calculated. Unfortunately for Talk, he wasn't praying for a save there. A blocking coming from Cheese. And, well, that's just not the reality that was set in stone. And that's an easy open net for NRG to grab hold of once again. A good little blob there. Good pass there. Straight there. Off the post. That's a finisher from Talk.
Needed these goals. Comes quick after the kickoff.
What a kickoff.
You see them wounded. You see them going for the kickoff strategy. And the reaction time to adjust yourself in a way that your second man is still going to be able to pick up off the back of your touch is something that very few players possess. Cheese and Talk, of course, at the top of one of the best regions that RLCS have to offer are certainly going to be no stranger to bump attempts here on Beast Mode. Force him wide. See space on that right. Daniel with the save. Both posts are hit, but Cheese's tertiary touch will be enough.
What a foot brace that air drive from Talk. The pitch from Daniel would have been an angelic save, that's for sure. That first man bump was incredible from Cheese, and he just comes back around, places it perfectly, and finishes the job once again. There's 4-3, and, well, for the people earlier doubting Cheese's formidability, they are back once again in the lead that they set themselves up, and it looks like the Rosetta Stone still has a lot to talk for here as the midfield sees Talk himself blocking that out. Followed up from Beast Mode. Daniel slaps it off the backboard again from the side wall, and he clears up to Talk. Talk with possession. Gonna be looking for a soft touch there. One more reset. Slaps it, and unfortunately, with the touches, it's not enough to derive power. Generates nothing to be threatening towards Beast Mode, who is on. Just bunny hopping everywhere right now. There's no time to be dilly-dallying, because that's a really swift counterattack from Talk. Tries to keep it close, pushes it off with Beast Mode, and sends it to the ceiling for Daniel to pick it up.
And Beast Mode's got on the beat as well. That leaves Talk alone versus the assembly line of Daniel and Beast Mode. So Daniel switching play. Won't find his teammate, forces them to reset from defense, and in that time, both Talk and Cheese have been able to recover, but a touch still lands to Beast Mode, somehow molds this play into an NRG favor, but that heavy touch is surely biting off more than they can chew. It's all Talk to take it high. Beast Mode with a first block. Cheese isn't lured in too early. The 50 is still good, and Talk is forced to interrupt.
It's a very clear skim, but not really anything that forces Daniel to go back to his own half right now. He's able to do so well. Look at that tank. He is barely even tapped it, barely able to use even 6 right now. But in comparison, that's the only thing that separates us is that boost management, the availability of the resources, and how to utilize those very same resources. It's all logistical battle, but the number crunching, well, there's another number. You're sending by another chase for the 5th.
First time that NRG have been forced to this deficit. And it is a wondrous recovery reaction from Cheese to make it happen. 104 seconds standing away of a reduced series. But kickoffs have been dangerous. NRG have already proven they can come back from behind. Have a dead in a wire, but Talk tries to sneak it low, keeps it back high. The seconds continue to dwindle, but he has to find this ball in the rotation. Beast Mode with 0 boost is still very much a threat. Cheese keeps it close though. The 100 boost that allows Talk to regain some for himself. Boost Mode wants that beat. Daniel is in there quick enough, buys his time for the free touch, but his second man is already recovered. Who's going to lose the pace of the game first? It's going to be Daniel.
Wow, big mistake. Commit there when he shouldn't have been committing. Oh, top left scrape off that post. Goes in for Talk from the flick, and that is through, all because Beast Mode decided to challenge in that corner as last man back. That is just a rookie mistake you don't expect from someone of his caliber. But unfortunately, time is tight. Decisions sometimes force risk. And unfortunately, the cautionary tale here is going to happen from the side of Team Aw, that whatever may look cutesy, and in this case, like you said, the cheetah, we are very prepared to snack in, see the opportunity, and catch up to the pace that Team NRG are very ready to set there. What a squeeze to the ceiling. Pass there from Talk over to Cheese. Going to take it. This man is selfless. Talk always thinking about his teammates. But again, the pressure that NRG wants is just not going to happen.
And well, they know they're on stream. Whether that's mainstream and a multitude of channels we've got running this team stream as well. They added a little bit of showmanship of that 7th goal. I was concerned during the 6th to call this one early. But surely 4 goals in 40 seconds, that's too much to bite even for the likes of NRG. Or have surely equalised this series. They found their foot in the game. And all of those early fireworks that NRG were able to rely on in the first game now go to the wayside. Or are more than just sparklers, they're firecrackers.
Yeah, firecrackers. I just call it a smoke bomb. This is just nothing but empty win from the side of NRG. 7-3. That is a scoreline one can even just dream of to create versus NRG here. And we're talking about Beast Mode and Daniel. Need I say it again? Beast Mode and Daniel. Second game after coming off a very confident win, showcasing their skills, but only a 2-goal gap. But in comparison, it's double that here in this one. Team have shown that whatever you may be, never judge a book by its cover. Look at that point differential. The MVP for this game, of course, is going to the near 1,000 point setter. It's Talk.
It was a game, for me, that was one of the defense of a transition. You see the high shot count there for Aw. Again, I feel like those statistics are
not at all conclusive to what's happening.
So
not at all, exactly. I agree.
I mean, that felt like it was all NRG, but they were just siphoned off to those corners. There was no value in that offense, and I spoke about that during that last game. NRG were getting more value, and they were getting the quantity as well. This time, I would still argue that the quantity was there to NRG, but it was just the speed and transition, the efficiency of transition from R, and the tight-knit defense is what made all the difference for them and ended up resulting in, well, a very one-sided scoreline. 7-3 against the world champions. Can't ask for much more there.
I don't know. I think it's kind of factors come in with the scorelines you see like these that are present in the second game come down to an underestimation from Beast Mode and Daniel. Like these these players, they're formidable. We've talked about it so many times. These are players with incredible resumes, but they're playing against people like Cheese and Talk, newcomers here in the scene that have only just tasted the whips of land, especially from Foot's recent wins here. But the principle that Cheese carries through from his wins previously in 3v3s have come over here into 2v2s, and there we go, prepared there. Beast Mode trying, that's a pitch low down to the ground, trying to use the surface area of the Fennec to get more connection, and there's a big mistake from Talk in midfield here. Cheese was all more confident that Talk had that under control against Beast Mode, but unfortunately, it looks like he messed up his half flip, some kind of mechanical error. Those things do happen, but it gives a free easy goal in the first 15 seconds to NRG.
It's poor from Talk, and ultimately you don't want to give away these leads to NRG, but they've proven in that last game, especially when you compare it to the first, they can still get themselves into these very convincing leads should they find a rhythm. So might not be the end of the world, but Talk with a double flip reset finds Cheese, sends that one low. Talk stops that one from going into the defensive half. It's a great cut and rotation from Cheese as well, and there's potential to go all the way. If it does anything, it's given Talk that opportunity to recover. There's a familiar first man cut. This is pure 2v2. This is the top level. Cheese and Talk are providing.
Oh, this is provocative gameplay. This is a game where you see that pressure is of the utmost importance, especially for Team. They're doing so well to consistently ground NRG here, not giving them any leverage. And when you see them, they're the ones in the air. Though it is an NRG lead, it doesn't feel like it. There's a big mistake to come in there from Beast Mode. Will be punished by Cheese.
Of course, series winner qualifies to top 6.
Wow.
In their one and only chance to earn a 2v2 world spot. But for those that are relegated, is Virtus Pro up 2-0 against Perfuera. It's the results that we were certainly expecting when we looked at that result. But whether that is going to be relevant for this team stream is still to be decided. NRG will certainly increase the importance of that.
Fantastic flick over, last man back, and Daniel, they know how much of a pressure it creates in the back of your head there. You know it's somebody you can block, you know it can happen, but it's Daniel. Sometimes you just can't help but cover the boost, and that's what happened to Cheese there. 2-1, NRG only again just scraping by. Even then, the performance is good little touch there coming in from Cheese, but man, again, this is the thing about Daniel. He's so good at making something out of nothing happen here. Big pressure coming in from NRG, but gets knocked away. That's Talk on the air here. One flip reset to utilize. Takes it down low, and Cheese, there's immediate follow-up. He's prepared there, but Beast Mode, so too is he. Faster to Talk. Oh my god.
That was close. Talk almost landed that double tap, but instead it's going to be 2-on-1 against Cheese. Talk has to catch this one on the quick turn instead. Fakes that first challenge, is given a free reign. Coming off this ceiling, has his flick, likely going to go for that wave dash. Is a bit too readable here for Daniel. That's the basic play that you see in 1v1. You see it a lot more commonly in 2v2 as well in more modern Rocket League. 2 minutes and 50 seconds to go. Still looking for the one.
Yeah, all they need is that one goal to complete the differential and equalize it to set themselves up for another counter-attack. And what they're relying on right now is the hyper unpredictability of those passing plays. But unfortunately for them, right now, it's all within the realm of a possibility for Daniel to block off Beast Mode with the pressure. Just scrapes off of Toxic's card for the save there, and it was only he's back with nothing in the tag. That could have been good pressure from Daniel. He's so good at keeping the ball close like that. Daniel with Beast Mode now in the midfield, blocking off one. Talk there, forced to use a lot of boost to come into the ball, and that will be likely punished by NRG if they can't stop. And now Team On need to prioritize defense, but started off strong by watching out for those mistakes. Just make sure you don't come into those mistakes yourself as well. Big play there. Daniel fixed it on the last second, but it's too close to the ball, and Talk will be there to connect to that as well. At the same time, Daniel now looking for the final finish up with Beast Mode keeping our side under pressure here. Off the backboard, Cheese sends it down close to midfield here. Daniel with a big pre-jump, but unfortunately just won't be enough for him. Now 1 minute 42 seconds left here, Sir Pig, for us to create some sort of pressure, some vacuum in the defense here of the NRG right now is just not enough, and one goal is all that separates us at the same time.
The only vacuum I'm seeing is the void of this 1 goal deficit. When it's against NRG, but have found their form, have played into the series. It's such a tough gap to fill. Torque fills the gaps in defense, launches the counter again, but it's Daniel with a full tank. So can't take it on the backboard. First reset, chances for the second, stays in control, off the backboard, beast mode on the target, just wide. And Torque will clear it out. It's down to the final minute. The yellow text on the screen is going to be danger signs for NRG. They just have to run down this clock.
Yeah, third game turns out to be the all-important one because this is match point on the line for everyone involved here because they blocked it off, and now this is sent down to the corner. Beast mode, he's there, he commits, so too does Talk, blocking the midfield there. She's prepared, he's perfectly placed, pass to the Talk, to double tap, he misses the angle wide to Beast mode, no! The most clear-cut opportunity to block it off here and get that 2-2 tie. 50 with Cheese, Talk in the corner, time is of the essence, and Cheese unfortunately, Cheese unfortunately goes to the bottom right corner.
It was disaster in both offensive and defensive thirds of the pitch for our Cheese. The backboard setup that we would score any other time with any little bit less of pressure. And with that goal in the opposing end, that surely gifted away the match point position towards NRG. A perfect 2 in a row required from R. But now a mental battle to try and fight after a devastating end to this game.
I wouldn't feel it's too devastating. Cheese is made of much sterner stuff. He ain't no mozzarella. This man is blue cheese. He may be blue in the face, but that doesn't mean that the embarrassment won't last for a little bit longer. Surely enough, it's a punishment that is just a deserved earning of our consequences here in this case, and just bad positioning from Cheese. Great plays. They've kept that ball close. There's a lot of things you can give up affirmation, but the first goal here only got away because I don't know what happened. It just collapsed there in the midfield from Talk. They tried to bring it back, only one goal separating them, and they had the pressure, brought it back in the middle of the game again, and it was just a byplay that only separated these two sides once more. The swing of it all, it just came down to small itty-bitty mistakes, and that was it. With time crunch there, just adding in a whole heap of factor that just created a cake that was just not sweet for the victory, not right for the taking for us in this moment here, unfortunately.
Both teams felt the stress, but it was odd that they were the first to break in that third game. You compare that to the second, where they were so much more solid and were able to play on those counterattacks that achieved that victory. That just wasn't there in the third. There wasn't that same layer of confidence, albeit NRG definitely looked jumpy at the best of times, and that's what gave us our goals in the first place. But this is going to be a matchup where, especially for the success in being the world's representatives for NA and have to face the likes of Zen and Atta, or even the likes of the Furia roster of Yan and Swift, I have to see a bit more consistency and a bit more earned plays in the offensive department. Yeah,
it just kept it feels like it's an up and down, that they're adding their stats like a video game menu. Have you ever seen those there, Sir Pig, where you can decide to, up and down your stats here, like it's a mobile game or something right now, and that's what happened to our case. They decided one time they're going to change up the strategy in the second game, and it worked. But I don't know what happened. They decided to change it all completely coming in, but Outer Energy just improved until there. How did Talk create that avenue?
Well, this just came out of nowhere. Daniel and Beast Mode both committing way too wide to the play, and Daniel is on that wrong side of the ball to cover that angle that was given by Beast Mode. And it is one of those opportunities, like I said, gifted away to the opposer. But now, in the remaining game, I'm not sure we're going to see or get any more fortunate opportunities like that, because Beast Mode locked in, takes it low, goes for the 1v2, but Talk clears that one out of the top corner.
Yeah, the clear there, sure, but that was nearly a mistake. The likes of Cheeses there from last game. Good attempt at the block there, just about able to grab a touch that and slap into the corner. But won't be enough to stop the heat from NRG, because now they smell blood in the water, and they are lurking. We got Cheetah versus a Shark, and the Great Whites here in this case are prepared to sink their fangs in against us. Beast Mode taking it slow. Big fake over Talk, and wait, oh my god, Daniel and Beast Mode nearly lopped that one wide, but Beast Mode there getting a very assisted bump coming in, and unfortunately for Talk, he just went too high to Beast Mode's low.
Tell you what, Beast Mode earns that one. I don't know what Daniel is doing. Trying to steal that away from the man who has just 1v2'd both Cheese and Talk, of course. The VP man being one to full potential to meet his teammates in the lower bracket. Now it is confirmed that VP were victorious in that lower semi-final. 2 games needed to prevent any friendly fire in 2v2. But again, the world champions that have found some form stand in their way.
He's now off the backboard. Oh, he's going for a psycho. Creative choices, surely enough, but is it really the time to be going for something when this happens like that? Beast Mode capitalizing an opportunity. Big mistake there from Cheese. But I guess he thought he could take a risk there. Unfortunately, the risk was not calculated at all. That's an open net there for NRG to take, and 3 minutes remaining on the timer.
Look, I'm a big FUT Esports fan. I've definitely seen a few of those attempts in your team streams. I've definitely seen those of the Telpay main streams as well. They love to go for those psycho attempts. But the stakes are high here. There needs to be some composure. Found the ground pinch isn't going to sneak through. Daniel's touch is very heavily against him. The flip reset isn't going to be enough to maintain the control. Beast Mode still remains local. Just tries to cause some damage into tight proximities. Beast Mode on the edge of a box with the reset. With 2 touches. A third is needed, but it's wide.
He tried and there's a counter. And it's an open net there for the taking. Cheese. Well, he was hunting for a save, and the patience won him out because that's a big commit from Beast Mode. Something, again, he is privy to these mistakes, and that's the first time I ever call out Beast Mode for something like that. We're his last man back, but I guess now that they have match point, they don't want to lose grasp of it. It's an understandable situation, but right now it calls for a whole different level from NRG. If this is a mistake that's going to be happening, no wonder they lost last game with a 7-3 here. In comparison, now it's 2-2. It's tied. Cheese. Fantastic touch there. Finds a Talk for that pinch. Daniel just on the goal line saving. There's a demo on Talk. Cheese left with nothing. Has to block it here. He's got enough boost there. Beast Mode. I think they're going to reset there. Luckily enough for us, it's not a threat just yet. Daniel off that sidewall. Snap there by Cheese to Talk. Talk in the corner again. Big commit by Beast Mode. Daniel prepared, and they're just going to be stealing the boost in the meantime.
Oh, Talk gets that clearance out to the corner. How's your lock-picking skill? This is going to be a tough deadlock to break. Back towards Cheese, has to bail away. Concedes possession to Beast Mode. Control was all in their favour. It's a beautiful delayed touch, just wide as well. Prevents Daniel from having a chance to challenge early for the dunk. Cheese keeps it close, off that waterfall. It's low boost for the teammate. Just has to waste some time for those pads to be picked up. Beast Mode is beaten, but it's still not an isolated spot because Daniel has taken such wonderful control. The musty is good, but Talk is even better.
Yeah, he stops that again. Those are the percentage tactics that make Team All such a good team here. The roster has managed to force NRG somewhat towards their knees, but they're trying to get back up and trying to keep them down. Beast Mode attempting a ground pinch will be stopped there by Talk. He's forced to go back midfield for that boost collection. Rapid taking. There's a pinch we see. It looks like they're trying to copy our tactics. Hey, copycats. Try to be a bit more original, why don't we? Wait a minute, remaining of this game. Go block from Beast Mode. And there's Cheese again. Mr. Queso leaving it to Talk. He's confident as a second man position, but Talk is making some mistakes. Looks like it might just be a little bit of that under the heat here that they are facing. And I don't think Talk likes me under the microscope here. In these moments as the play comes in and it forces it ball down. Jeez, just lobs it up high for one. Talk has control and he's in the corner. Flip-flopping around, bumped it on Beast Mode, and this is 30 seconds remaining. You talked about lock picking skills. I think they're going to need to talk about lock masters because right now there's no one to stop this deadlock. It's still underway.
They're being squeezed, but they haven't popped yet. Cheese repositions on the backboard. Beast Mode gives it his all. Talk is awkward, and it's going to be that post recovery to make the difference. Is it more late drama for NRG?
Oh, you couldn't ask for a worse ending to such a brilliant game. That tie broken only because of another mechanic mistake. Talk left scraping the backboard, but we've seen kickoff goals working before. Let's see if it changes anything now. That's not a save happening anytime soon. There's Beast Mode for the collection, and they get that fourth goal as well, doubling the lead and finishing this one with a confident 3. It's a 1 finish, just like they did their opponents Bronian from the last one. Consistency, thy name is NRG.
NRG hold on to the upper bracket and kick the ladder behind them. Or to fight in the lower brackets. It's actually a record to have kickoff goals scored in 2 seconds. Would require something historic. Do we fancy the copium?
I'm all for it. Give it to me right now. Put it in my jar of milkshake. I have it right in front of me.
Moonshoes to jump up to that top spot. It does stay high,
wow,
but the boost
wait.
is certainly not in their regard. Daniel has 100 behind them, sets it down, holds on. This is a good position for Tom. Daniel is beaten, underneath it's Cheese, and it's in! It'll go to 9, it'll go to OT, it could go to 5!
Oh my God, the pitch from the ceiling, Cheese! And he slaps that one through on the 0 second! History has been made. We talked all about jokingly about a kickoff goal in that situation, but Cheese and talk from Team A, making reality happen right at a moment's notice. Call the time machine because I want to slap the face of old you and me there, Sir Pig. Wait, the finisher. Can't we see it? Basement with 0. Oh, that was so close. Talk up here high. He's waiting patiently for Cheese to take it there. Lobs that one through. That's my basement. No.
Already a miracle, but we're gonna need another. There's lightning strike twice. Beast mode with control. Right, Wall. This is not a position you want to see. Talk already committed towards the ceiling, but it's passed away by Beast mode. It's a 2v1, reduced down to 1. Daniel on the recovery. It's already thrown towards that other side. Cheese gets to 50 down to the corner. There's already a man up. It's Beast mode. Talk doesn't force out his boost too early. Recovers to that backboard. No post mishaps this time. The heavy charge still recovered. Cheese is low. There's already a hop up from Daniel, but it is just enough.
Oh, Cheese! Exo's pass, slaps it over the head. That was wide.
No!
Fuck! That's the reset. The pitch set from Beastman on the backboard. Daniel trying to find that pass. It seems like they're faking it, but it looks like that's a big mistake. That is the shot. The 50 pitch. That's clears to the corner again. Talk. A lot of prevention methods from NRG just whittling away as they're collecting boosts and pads, desperate for something, but they're not seeing a bait being set just yet from Team A. NRG, it's a situation for all here. It's a circumstance that no one was expecting. There's the triple, trying to use his 50. Pitcher with beast mode. Chase slightly fakes it. They're trying to delay that into the corner. Sees the pressure. Daniel, there's a pinch there. Talk, and he finishes this one on. He's taking it down low. He's backing it up there. He's there for the fake against Daniel, trying to force him to use the boost. No, the switch is safe from beast.
What a save!
What an incredible defense from NRG. Barked out again. Chase that slaps him wide to the corner for Talk.
It's a 100 boost. It's a reset to cut across. You cannot lose this 50. Cheese though.
Oh my God.
Positions well on that left wall. Daniel has 0. The flip isn't good. You can see the nerves seep into the game. And that 0 second goal echoes the likes of NRG in Season 7. Will they find harmony this time in OT? Knocks it across. Beast mode for the heavy touch. It's Daniel and Beast mode left scrambling, but Cheese on 0 boost. Still favoured for that first touch. Not sure about this second. Beast mode is able to get that first block. It's a tough read for Daniel. The angle could be there, but Talk doesn't leave it to chance.
Not at all. This is an opportunity where probability cannot let them through. We've already seen a miracle happen, a statistical impossibility, and the logistics here have shown 4-4 in a moment where no one expected that tie to come in from a team that was already looking like they might just give up, but not until the fat lady sings. And by God, it's an opera here right now as the crescendo has not reached itself just yet. It's a staccato there with 3 minutes of overtime. We're seeing another game happen right in the midst of this one. There's a block there again, slapping it by forcing Beast Mode to waste a lot of boost just to collect that save. Talk there, trying to finish this off. There's Daniel with enough. Block there again. Trying to finish and pitches off the post there from Cheese.
Still survival. Talk up. Still a player close on our right hand side. Another recovery to the left wall will give NRG time to get behind this ball. Talk temporarily slows that play down, but with that 50 there's a pace increase. It's Cheese for the catch to take it across. There's no pinch through, takes it high. Daniel was already prepared for that chance, and now Cheese just sees space in the skies, has to bring it underneath the crossbar, but Beast Mode grabs another block, back down to Talk. No second touch, keeps it in the area, and that's just one to recover, but Beast Mode doesn't commit in time. The miracle doesn't get finished.
Not at all. The prophecy has not prophesied just yet. It's being written in the stone right now. The commandments here will show that all will be your winners. Irritable there from Talk. He's trying to finish this game off early, but it will not happen just yet. Cheese has to block the first man. Daniel there looking for an opening. He might find one there on Talk with the demo as well as substituting it out there. It's going to be Cheese with an irritable. No, baseball just slaps it to the backboard again.
It's going down deep. Cheese on the back foot. You cannot mess up this touch. It's going to be a heavy ball down. Cheese cannot jump too early. That's just going to concede possession. Talk has free reign in the skies. Off the ceiling. Drops down. It's Cheese from the 6-yarder. Beast mode makes the block. Cheese keeps that ball forward. Talk's on the rotate. There's disruption as well with the bumps. And now Daniel. 0 boost. 2v1. This is the moment. The unrepeatable is plagiarized. And this time, it's a happy ending.
Talk your talk. This man was... He was yelling all game that he wanted this win. No matter what. We get that game 7. In a moment where no one expected this to go to a reality that was unspeakable. The NRG will be forced to their knees here. This was a game met neck and neck. And in this one, OT has shown that one side will crumble under pressure. It ain't us. It's not Team R.
Put down the controller. Relish the moment. And take your breaths. 4 games to reach that point. 20 minutes of regulation. Means nothing for the upcoming 5. To secure top 6, to take down the world champions, or just need one more moment of greatness.
That defense from each side. I know NRG are our opponents, Tripping. I know NRG are our opposite, but you just can't help but admire every bit of iron tight defense that was showcased to us from the opposite side. Daniel Beast Mode force us into game 5. Champions Field here for tonight, Sir Pig. The scene is set. The crowd is heavy. Who will bear the pressure?
Well, you know what map we're heading to, ladies and gentlemen. A very fitting name for our opponents. Champions Field awaits. The names of our opponents stand on top of the rafters. This is their home turf. But the noisy neighbours have already caused some complaints. Can NRG get their own back? Certainly after that last one. Top corner hits off the post. The ding will ring across the crowds. But it falls back to Beast Mode. A high pop goes towards that wall. Beast Mode. Is it going to be able to sneak that one past? That redirect could have found its way above Daniel. Doesn't land. A wasted opportunity in the first 30, but there's solidity.
It's Daniel with pressure. NRG encompassing every meter per square here of this lobby right now. Has seen NRG encroaching blue territory for so long that I have not seen even the bare face of the orange side. NRG right now with the dribble coming from Beast Mode. Blocked there again. Daniel midfield sees Beast Mode jump up here early. Looks like it might be something that gives them the reward. Instead, Daniel was able to get it through a very sketchy 50. James with nothing, and it's unfortunate the pressure works somewhat in favor for Team NRG for the first goal.
Sets the tone. First 60 seconds. NRG already print themselves onto the score sheet. If we can come back with 2 seconds left on the clock. What more is 4 minutes? Talk. In his own half keeps this close. Baits out Beast Mode to come close, takes it over, and that's going to have a teammate behind as well to finish the job. But a 50 is so strong against Cheese. Has to fight control. But what is this commit from NRG? You start to feel sorry for them. Oh,
talk about loving the worm, but ignoring the hook that it's attached to. That was a yummy ball right for the taking for Beast Mode. Unfortunately, forced them out, and that was an easy one for the taking from the side of Team. As we've seen here, they are very, very good at forcing pressure, but the only one's not coming underneath it was our side here, but that doesn't mean that the other side were no slouches in the last 4 minutes of OT. We saw the previous game here. Pass coming from Talk. Jeez, with the 50, just getting blocked out by Beast Mode, and he was just a massive hurdle to overtake. That was not going to let that one through for free. As Cheese there, trying to pay his taxes, it seems, as Talk in the meantime slapped that ball through midfield. And we finally see some clearance here, working favor for Team Oz. A 50 comes in again. Talk with the follow-up. Maybe the last second touch just collapses up. Bar down shot. Talk with the finisher. Blocked up by Daniel. Wow. Talk about getting in the way. But not this time.
Hold on. Pure chaos in the half of NRG. The save was incredible. The block was even better. And the bump was just a cherry on top. Ari getting the lead. They're in the driver's seat. Momentum all on their side, but hold on. Kick off for Daniel. Denied in the top corner from Tog. Cheese has that teammate on the opposite side. Wants to go on his lonesome. Sneaks it under. Beast Mode is looking awkward again, but a counter-attack of this flick is good. Should be Tog, but Tog is worth a lot more than just that.
There's a lot of demos. Demo derby from the side of Team they were just trying to remove their hurdles. Though those names are NRG's. Daniel, the Beast Mode dribble. They're coming in. Flicks over his head. Marked out. He showed Daniel a taste of his own medicine in this one, because you recall what cost us a Game 3. Game 2, apologies, was that very flick there in that moment. What a shot from Cheese.
And we're allowed to, on the team stream, start to get a little bit excited. Look ahead of our top 6. But for the players, eyes have to remain forward. It's forward, front-footed play straight off the kickoff. But a save is there from Daniel. The counter is on. They've already come back from 2 on multiple occasions. And like I said, this should be their hallowed turf. Beast Mode stopped by Talk. It's Daniel on the beat. It's overcommittal. It's back within 1.
This is a team that does very well in controlling the midfield here. Just one slight mistake, Doc. Tried to pinch it, but there was just didn't have enough speed there. And we talk about shot ratios, shot scored, and goal scored. We are the team with the 7th most shots, top 10 shots in all of RLCS NA 2v2. Lob that up, and at the same time, we are the number 1 team with the least shots conceded. There's the finisher there from Daniel, and he clears it in for the 3v3 here, 155, and unfortunately, it came down to the worst moment, just losing out our lead as well at the same time.
Well, it was an unfortunate time to bring up that statistic, but the other side of the coin, NRG actually sits higher in the shot statistics than R. If there was going to be any team to break down this side, the world champions would have to be the pair, but that's proving difficult. Daniel's bumped their own teammate. More bumps are being attempted. Daniel just forced to clear this one out off the crossbar, but a mid boost spawns just in time for him. Talk will trickle this one over. Bells away, looks for some physicality, but Beast Mode and Daniel have already gone all the way back to their goal line. They're not taking any risks defensively. They're playing for these counters. They found a good position. The smoke screen's in play. Cheese is awkward on the post, and Talk has chosen to recover at the near post as well. He had the choice. Cheese sneaks it over, and through the chaos, Talk and Cheese are Houdini. I can't believe what I'm seeing.
You're talking about being tongue-tied. I too am in the very same situation right now, but Cheese, this one can make even the stringiest of Cheese look so straight. Talked off the backboard. That's a good pressure, but Daniel not going to get baited that easily. That's up the ceiling. Talk, they're prepared. Only one man to beat his Beast, but they're getting big. Slams that down with the wave dash. That's in for the lead. It's team. 4-3. What a play from Talk.
Uses the pressure of the position, the circumstance to send a mind game down low. That is game management. That is experience at the highest level, but that is a threatening kickoff. Cleared off to the corner. 43 seconds the difference. Daniel could be the difference. Flip reset past Talk. Cheers with 0 boost. Beast Mode just has to find the target, but Talk is just too strong at the top corner.
Alex, looks like tables have turned here. This is a very simple position. We put NRG in, and now we're the ones at the end of the stick right now. Talk about getting a taste of our medicine. It is bitter, but we managed to circumvent that pressure, bring it back against NRG, and they're the ones again with Beast Mode trying to copy Talk's strategy, trying to bump out the first man and second man away, trying to give his team an open field to work with. Last 10 seconds of this time, the player that is over, maybe Beast Mode, we still gotta be careful. He's up in the air now. We need to see someone block it. There's a double jump attempt. Talk pitches away from the backboard. That is through. Daniel in the meantime snaps out the left wing. Keeps it alive. Cheese and Talk prepared for any circumstance. Air drag there to Bismo. The clear grand slap to the ground and Timo.
2 bricks, rigid in defense. One step closer to earning the fight against those that are painted blue. Top 6 achieved for Raw, and it is at the expense of the world champions. Talk weakened his opponent in preparation for his 2 teammates meeting against him in the lower bracket. But most importantly, VP and Foot join forces for the one and only 2v2 event North America have to offer. The 2 organizations sitting on the fringe with the chips on their shoulder can have a taste of that top spot.
Talk about an unholy duo here. What an absolutely devilish comeback. They talk about games like these in the Bible. 7 Inferno, 7 layers of hell NRG experience at the expense from the side of Team Aw. Cutesy name, but like I talked about, don't judge a book by its cover. And in this case, it seems like this cover was published and signed off by the devil himself, because no one expected this. What kind of a miracle run happened from the side of Cheese and Talk to deliver a game result like this, where everything went topsy-turvy, and in this case Daniel and Beast Mode just weren't enough to stop us tonight.
And I cannot imagine the emotion in the Talk household right now. Both Talk Dad and Talk Mother in chat celebrating an unbelievable comeback in the upper finals. And as you can see on the bracket, it's going to be no more games for them for the rest of the day. That's all going to be left for the mainstream tomorrow, with 2 lives to earn their spot into the semi-finals. And of course, in a bid to earn that 1 golden spot to the World Championship to represent the entire region of North America in the inaugural 2v2 playlist.
Oh my god. I am at a loss for words. Even though one of our players' name is Talk, I find myself speechless. For the first time in my life on a cast like this, I find myself speechless, and that takes a monumental effort. Some would say even a miracle, but we've seen miracles happen tonight there, Sir Pig. We have seen miracles happen tonight, and by God, are we blessed today. And so too, like you said, the Talk family here for tonight. Discussions will be ripe with the win, recalling some of the best moments from this series, but nothing more comes grander at the consequence or the topic of discussion on that game for performance. With the boys here sort today, Talk and Cheese, we have spoken their praises until I think even God will be tired of us here. But right now, it has been an amazing stream, an amazing run, and I couldn't have done it better without yourself here for tonight, and also the assistance of Redirect GG.
Yeah, of course, we got Hazard as the lone producer and the observer for the day, and it was an excellent job to deliver all of those series as well. There we go, he's blushing. He's got the awe as well on the sentience lower thirds. But of course, this is a huge congratulations for Cheese and Talk. We spent the first series and, well, actually the complete pre-show talking about the experience of these 2 players. They're in that middling tier, okay? They're not the likes of a Justin that have been here the entire time. Even the likes of Atomic, who have been here for quite a while now and formed a dynasty. This is the next peak generation, and I don't think there has been more proof of that pedigree than beating the likes of the reigning world champions and 2 of some of the greatest players that North America has ever had the opportunity to represent their region.
Talk about removing the old guard in the most fashionable way here. This is the time for new 2 spotlight players generating a top 6 win. And I was watching the reactions of the watch party there from the side of Alpha Kept, Chief Beef, Vince, you name it. Every top streamer just in awe just in
Wow.
awe here at the win that we have culminated for today. But all stories as well and grand as we have started here for tonight. From the get-go, winning off against Juice and Monk to a monumental win, forcing NRG to their knees. That is it from us here on the Ground Zero / Sir Pegasus / Redirect Esports Redirect GG over here for tonight. This holy trinity of a collab here for tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Want to give another shout out to our man, the solo producer of everything, the bright lights, the bright win we've seen. Couldn't have been done without supporting cast of Hazard Prod, who's done such an incredible job on the production here for today. But at the same time, such an electric commentary from yourself, there, Sir Pig. That it will be it from all of us here for today. It is myself, Ground Zero. We have given the respectable shout outs to everyone involved. Please do go follow their channels as well. Get their viewership up, because these are some deserved people who are not at all bereft of any content or entertainment. They're ready, prepared to give you guys some amazing times, and we've seen them do so well with the RTS 2v2 and 1v1s and the minor region streams for APAC and SSA. So at the same time, guys, that is it from us. Thank you all so much. It is I, Ground Zero. Oh wait, what's 10? What are you guys gonna do? What are you guys gonna do? I'm new to this.
See